In this video, I will be using group policy to deploy Inkscape. I will be using two different methods of deployment. One of them will be where we create a policy for domain computers and then the computers install the software during startup. And other one is where we create a policy for our domain users and then the users themselves can install the software whenever they like. I'm starting this video from my GitHub page, and here you can find more of my videos that are related to this topic. For example, here you can find my Windows Server setup, and here are all other group policies and settings that I'm using when I'm deploying software using group policy. And I will leave the URL in the description down below. And now I will begin this video by downloading Inkscape MSI installer file. And for that I will use the link that I have here that brings me to Inkscape homepage, and I will click on download now. Then I will click on Windows installer package. And the download should start for us. So I will go to my downloads folder. And here we have our MSI file. And now I will right click on the file, select copy, and I will go to VMware Workstation where I have my Windows Server environment. I will minimize the server manager for now, and I will move the MSI file to my desktop. And then we want to move it from our desktop to a network share that is accessible to our computers and users. So I will open File Explorer and enter a network path. For me it's SRV02. It's my file server, and here I have this share called software. I will go inside of it, and here I will create another folder named Inkscape. I will go inside of that folder and I will move the MSI file to this folder. And here you need to make sure that you have the correct share and anti-UFS permissions. For example, for both I have authenticated users with read permissions. That means that both of my users and computers can access and execute the files from this share. So make sure that you have that. Now let's start creating our group policy, and for that I will go back to the server manager, select tools, and here I will select group policy management. Then I will expand group policy objects. And the first policy that I will be creating will be for our domain computers. It's where the software is installed during the startup process for the computer. So I will right click on group policy objects, select new, and I will name the policy assign Inkscape. And I will click OK. Then I will select the policy that I created, right click it and select edit. And because this policy will contain only computer settings, we need to go to computer configuration, policy, software settings, software installation. And here I will right click, go to new and select package. Here you need to make sure that you're selecting an installer file from a network share and you're not selecting a file that is local on the server, because it will allow you to select a local file, but the installation for the computers will fail because they will not have access to this folder and to this file. So I will click here and enter the network path once again, SRV02, then the software share, Inkscape folder, and I will select the MSI file. Here I will select advanced and OK. Then I will go to deployment, advanced, and I will select ignore language when deploying this package, because I want to deploy this package no matter what is the language on the client computer. And then I will click OK and OK. We are done creating this policy, so I will close this window. Then I will go to details. For GPU status, I will select user configuration disabled, because this policy right now has only computer settings in it. And that's it for creating the policy. Now we need to link this policy to our organization unit, which holds computers on which we want to install the software. And for me, it will be this organization unit called domain computers 1. So to assign the policy, I will click and hold on the policy and drag and drop it on the organization unit and select OK here. As you can see, the policy appeared here, and also we can see it in the list here. And now to test this group policy, I will go to one of my client machines that is in this organization unit. And for me, it's my client 01 that I have here. And the first thing that we want to do here is to update our group policy. So for that, I will go to start menu. I will type CMD. I will open it without administrative privileges, and I will type GP update. And as you can see, after updating group policy on this computer, we are getting this message right here that is informing us that it detected a software installation package and that the computer needs to be rebooted for the software installation to happen. So let's reboot the computer. In the command line, I will type shutdown -R -T0 and press enter. And now let's see what happens. As you can see here, the computer is informing us that it is currently installing Inkscape, so we need to wait a bit more. And now I will sign in to this computer. And here we have our Inkscape desktop shortcut right here, so I'll double click on it. And it seems to be working just fine. And that's it for creating a group policy that deploys software to our computers. Now let's see how it looks when we're creating a group policy for our users and then allowing them to install the software. And for that, I will go back to my domain controller. Once again, I will select group policy objects. I will right click them and select new. I will name this group policy publish Inkscape. And I will click OK. I will select it, right click it and select edit. And because this policy is for our users, we need to go to user configuration, policy, software settings, software installation, and again, right click here, go to new and package. Once again, make sure that you're selecting a file from a network path. As you can see, in my case, it isn't the network path, so I will select the MSI file, select advanced and OK. I will go to the deployment tab, and here for installation user interface options, I will select basic because I don't want to allow our users to select anything during the installation process, and I will click OK. And that's it for creating this group policy, so I will close this window, and this time for GPU status, I will select computer configuration settings disabled, and click OK once again. And once again, we need to link this group policy to an organization unit, but this time we need to link it to an organization unit that holds our domain users. And for me, it's my organization unit called domain users. So I will select the policy and hold, drag and drop it to the organization unit. And it appeared here and also in the list here. And to test this group policy, I have another client machine, client 02. And in this machine, I have this shortcut that brings us to the software installation from the network. And as you can see, currently we have no software packages. So once again, we want to refresh our group policy. For that, I will go to my start menu, type in cmd, and I will open command prompt without administrative privileges. And I will write gp update. And after updating group policy, let's refresh the screen here. And as you can see, we have our Inkscape package. So I will double click on it. The installation started. Let's wait a bit. And the installation seems to be successful. So I will click OK here and double click the shortcut on the desktop. And once again, it seems to be working just fine. And that's it for this video. In the future videos, I will show you how to deploy Inkscape using other software deployment tools. So like and subscribe if you want to see that, and see you in the next one.